Welcome to 5 Minutes X, where the mutants are uncanny, the outfits are questionable, and the soap opera is just getting started. Welcome back to 5 Minutes of X. Today we're diving into X-Men number 4, originally published in March 1964, written by Stan Lee and art by the legendary Jack Kirby. Let's kick this off with today's spotlight, Wanda Maximoff. I'm excited to talk about an MCU character that a lot of fans would know. Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, a character who enters the Marvel Universe fully cloaked in mystery, loyalty, and red velvet drama. In her comic debut, Wanda Maximoff is already caught in a moral tug of war. She's powerful, but indebted to Magneto after he saved her from a mob back in Europe, a moment that Magneto never lets her forget, and we'll be talking about in this very episode. She's not quite a hero yet, but you can already see she's on a different path. Of course, we now know Magneto isn't her manipulative boss, he's her father. Which makes the whole dynamic way more awkward in hindsight. If you've read House of M, which happens much, much later, just remember, it all starts here. One day she'll whisper, "No more mutants." Today she's just trying to survive a family vacation from hell. Alright, so let's start in the Danger Room again, where the traps are bigger and now require a space larger than a gymnasium. A birthday cake signifies a year since Jean joined the school, and in that time she's been promoted to pushing a wheelchair. Right there on the cover. Meanwhile, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants is making their dramatic debut. Magneto is the leader, but we're introduced to Mastermind, Toad, and the mutant siblings, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. I'll be doing spotlights on all of those characters. Of course, I just did Scarlet Witch. Magneto steals an armored destroyer ship to make a statement. Angel spots it and kind of alerts Charles. He doesn't think he's seen anything special, but Professor X happens to know that there shouldn't be any warships in that area. I wonder why he would know that. So back at his evil lair, Magneto reminds Wanda that she still owes him a life debt for saving her from these superstitious villagers from Europe. He refers to her and Pietro as his slaves, and they both clearly have doubts about staying, but they do for now. So Professor X calls a red alert, reaching the team via astral projection. By the time they arrive, he's already mid-conversation with Magneto, but in his mind, and they're both projected above Earth like a cosmic Zoom call. It's pretty cool. Mastermind creates a fake army wearing Nazi uniforms, but with M's in place of the swastikas, and they take over the island of San Marco. The X-Men arrive disguised as students, but Magneto sees through it immediately, and chaos totally breaks loose. Great fights occur. The Toad and Mastermind fight off against Beast, Angel versus Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch, Cyclops versus Quicksilver again, and eventually Magneto. The X-Men just kind of lose over and over and over again in these fights. And all the fighting, Cyclops' optic beams bring down part of the building, and amid the rubble and confusion, Professor X is caught in a bomb blast meant for Beast, and he's just totally incapacitated. Magneto wants to destroy everyone on the island with a second bomb, a nuke this time, but Quicksilver refuses. He runs back into the building and disarms the bomb, giving us our first hint that maybe these particular Brotherhood siblings aren't like all in on Magneto's mission. Professor X warns the student that his powers are gone before promptly passing out. This issue is kind of a milestone, not just for introducing the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, but for injecting genuine complexity into the X-Men universe. Also, the name Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, who calls themselves that? Magneto thinks he's like the savior of mutant kind, not a Saturday morning cartoon villain. Only in the Silver Age would a villain label his crew the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Marvel does have a long history of dumb names. Most people in the X fandom just call this particular group the Brotherhood. Magneto's manipulation of Wanda and Pietro isn't just villainy, it sets up decades of complicated family drama. Plus, this issue hits some wild notes: astral projection, Nazi illusions, and a nuclear device. Beast and Cyclops continue to shine, but Jean and Iceman still feel like background players. Also, someone give Bobby a better role than a solo boat ride to the island. This pacing is a bit frantic, but the stakes, they're massive. The X-Men may not win, but they survive, barely, and the Brotherhood escapes to fight another day. Alright, you've survived another session in the Danger Room. For more character info, reading lists, and whatever other nerdy projects I'm tangled up in, head over to Jordy.com. New episodes drop Wednesdays at noon and Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern. And remember, if your dad recruits you into a war against humanity, it's okay to say, "No more family dinners, Dad."